why can't I be like her? Can't I truly be myself? Wish that everything was so different. Wish that everyone could accept the real me. I have tried to hide it all this time, but it's feeling me inside. Nobody knows who I really am, so I keep on crying, and I keep crying, crying, crying. Yes, I keep crying, crying, crying. Yes, I keep crying, crying, crying. Yes, I keep crying. It's a cry from the closet. A cry from the closet, yeah. Ooh. My friends, my family, my leaders, and everyone all around me. Hey, people like me, people who are no like them. Wish I ever was so different. Wish I. Hello friends, it's afternoon here, 4 p.m., which is also my morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good time wherever you are. And I welcome you all on yet another update show here on the Victor Mukasa Show, Facebook. And it's about LGBTQ refugees in Kakuma camp, in particular Block 13, who have been and continue to be under attacks, violent attacks and threats from fellow refugees because of homophobia and transphobia. Pastor Mondo, I welcome you. I see you, Papa. Yeah, they've been under attack. They still continue. Papa, please pray for LGBT refugees in Kakuma camp because you're the man with the anointing. They continue to be under attack. On the last live show, while we were talking to them, one of them was actually under attack while we were on the show. And I want to give you some updates from here and also have some of the folks in Kakuma camp on Block 13 give you direct updates from there, because this is just me amplifying their voice, and this is me calling upon you all to join their cause. I'm going to keep playing A Cry from the Closet, a song by Brian Nkoyo. You're from Uganda, and thank you so much, Brian, for the music that you have given us. Friends in Kakuma camp, I request you to be on standby so that we can get started. Please invite your friends, share this live show with others, and let us just have a short one today. Thank you very much. This song is called A Cry from the Closet. Please enjoy it as you invite others to the show. We'll be beginning in a minute. Thank you very much. Right now, I'm feeling lonely, I'm feeling empty. If everyone is all around me, oh why can't I be like her? Can't I truly be myself? Wish that everything was so different. Wish that everyone could accept the real me. I have tried to hide it all this time, but it's killing me inside. Nobody knows who I am, so I keep on crying as I keep crying, crying, crying. Yes, I keep crying, crying, crying. They're feeling me inside.
Nobody knows who I really am.
Latest
So I
money.
keep on crying, knowing I keep crying, crying, crying. Yes, I keep crying, crying, crying. Yes, I keep crying, crying, crying. Yes, I keep crying. It's a cry for the roses.
All right. Once again, welcome everybody to this update show on the situation of our friends, LGBTQ refugees on Block 13 in Kakuma camp. I welcome you all, and I'll start off by thanking all of you that have continued to write and send letters to the UNHCR wherever they are, urging them to remove these LGBTQ refugees under attack from the camp. I thank you all that are doing it. I thank all those who are contributing on the GoFundMe page for Block 13, Kakuma Camp, for the contributions that you have made. They go a long way in helping our friends at the camp. The needs are huge. The needs are huge. We are buying food. We are taking people to hospital, a private hospital where they are treated with dignity. I have to tell you that even when they go and have their wounds stitched, or they're given treatment, they are required to go back for review, and we still have to pay for reviews. So the need is constant for anybody out there who has some pocket change. We ask you to put it, dump it, drop it on that GoFundMe page that you'll find here on my Facebook page. There's so many GoFundMe pages, but this page is strictly for relief for Block 13 in Kakuma camp. We need it. We need it for the children there. We need it for sanitation for the girls there. We need it for treatment, medical. We need it for first aid supplies. We need it for survival, for hope. And also, I would like to thank all those that are on the team that is giving counseling, the first responders team, counselors and doctors. We thank you so much for what you are doing, waking up at weird hours in your countries to just give hope to our friends at the camp on Block 13. There's a lot of trauma there. There's a lot of depression. There's a lot of suicidal thoughts. There is a lot. And we still I call upon other people who are willing to and able to offer counseling to our friends to get in touch with me, and we'll get you connected to the people in Kakuma. I also thank those who are disseminating information about the situation in Kakuma camp, and mostly to the people in Kakuma camp, Block 13. I want to say you're brave. You are brave. You are brave, and you're going to be okay. We shall not keep quiet until something is done. We may look weird and stupid right now, but we mean business. LGBT refugees on Block 13, in Kakuma camp, or anywhere in Kakuma camp, need to get out of there. It is not safe for LGBTQ lives. The solution of people keeping a low profile is no solution at all. It is not easy for certain people to keep a low profile. And what is low profile? What's the definition of low profile? That as a man born in a woman's body, I wear a skirt to go to the shop. The low profile card cannot play on LGBTQ lives like it cannot play on people who are born tall or light-skinned or black or Caucasian in case they want to survive in certain communities. There are certain things we cannot change. And one of them is that we are LGBTQ, and we are identified in one way or another by those who stereotype us, and they will attack us, not only in Kakuma camp, but even in our countries where we are, even here in the United States. where the laws are protecting LGBTQ people, but we hear of transgender men and women being killed every other day. So this is not a new thing. We are not looking for special rights for LGBTQ refugees in Kakuma camp. We are just looking for life, protection, the right to life. Now, in way of updates, I would like to let you know that we have not yet heard from the UNHCR. I would like to let you know that the UNHCR has received reports, detailed reports of what is happening in Kakuma. Now the onus is upon them to act. And we have received some of the reports from elsewhere that these LGBTQ refugees are pretending, are exaggerating their situations. In fact, some people have said that they are slicing themselves. They are slicing their skins and flesh, and they are hurting their skulls. They are probably, because when you say they are doing these things to each other, to themselves, we have reports of rape victims, women and men who have been raped. They have been, articles have been forced into them. And we cannot say that they're doing that to themselves. We have given a report to the UNHCR of the suffering, the plight of these people. We have medical professionals who have been working and talking to the LGBTQ refugees on Block 13, who have written reports and submitted them to the UNHCR. And we have not yet heard from the UNHCR. It is saddening. It is saddening that an organization that has the resources to confirm whether people have been raped or not, have been beaten or not, has said nothing to that. And in fact, we have not had any visit. The friends in Kakuma camp report that the UNHCR has not yet even come to the camp after the last attack on June 19th that left so many people injured, that got people to lose a lot of blood, that has people on crutches right now when they went to that camp walking perfectly, that people have their hands broken, their limbs broken, and we cannot have the UNHCR to confirm to us that that is a lie. Now, I also thank the Washington Blade for the article that you have published by activists from Europe that wrote an opinion, and I call upon the press out there to please follow up on this and help to amplify our voice. Now, those in Kakuma, if you are present, could you please just show up, send your request, and give us an update before we continue with this. Friends in Kakuma, Doreen, I see you online. Trans woman in Kakuma camp, one that has faced a lot of attacks herself. And Doreen is one of the brave souls that we have at the camp. Doreen, I welcome you to the show. It's been a long time. I know that you've been working hard trying to ensure that people are safe there. I think you should be working at the UNHCR. Sorry. But anyway, how is it going there, Doreen?
It's as usual. We are still living in fear,
Yes.
not only of our lives, but of what UNHCR can do. This silence of UNHCR is a strategic, critical way of them playing their politics. I had a conversation with my other fellow activists about silence. This light is yes, put it on the side. Okay. They have been doing this for years. There's a way they play these cards. They have been silent for all along. Even after everything that they have been receiving, all the information they have been receiving, before all this happened, they were having police reports on ground. Police reports. Police comes on ground and sees all this and gives them clear reports. And police also, because they have a part of them that is so homophobic, they reached a point and saying that, why are we even wasting our time on UNHCR who's not responding to you, who is letting us have all the way to deal with people like you coming up looking like this in our stations and making our job hard. And now they are having a medical report from a treating doctor. Actually, I want to first of all thank Dr. Mila Sidhu. Thank you so much, and the team that you are working with. I've gone through this report. UNHCR is going through it right now because they
actually have three reports. The general report that we sent them with all the testimonies from Kakuma that people are willing to come out and talk about openly. They have a report from a therapist, a professional one, who has documented what they have studied, and then they also have that report from the treating doctor.
Yes. Imagine. Imagine they have enough, more than enough information, more than enough information that these people are already living through hell, that their bodies are physically going through hell, that their minds are breaking up, that their souls are lost in such a place. Children don't sleep. Children coming to a point of not sleeping when a child cries because they want to sleep. But now it's to a point when children cannot sleep. That means that they're already going through so much mental trauma. We have people who have injuries that are not going to heal, even if they are resettled. They're not going to heal. People that have dislocations. I know of a boy here, he has his elbow dislocated. The ligament is totally off between the bones. And if it wasn't for the help that we are receiving from the Victor Mkasa Show and all partners, this boy, we wouldn't have known. We thought maybe it's just, maybe it's just a bruise, or maybe it's just something, and we put a bandage on it. After going through the scans, that's when we see all this. We thought someone who had a swell on the head. That's all we thought. But the crack is on the skull. Inside of this head, this person is being warned that make sure you don't even come close to a football pitch. That much, that even if you're going to walk in a market, make sure you don't get into so many people. Don't get squeezed where there's so many people. Someone by mistake might hit you on the head, and the cracks of your skull will hurt your brain inside. And that is not going to change now.
Yeah. We have a surgery.
Yes, a continuous surgery. A surgery has not yet even been done yet, because the facilities here and the doctors here, the professionals here, don't even know how to deal with this. The clot is on the intestine. Like inside of the belly, that's where the clot is. That's where the clot is. And this clot is hindering his intestines to work. He's afraid to even eat, because when he does, the food bulges up inside of his stomach. This is information that UNHCR is having medical reports of. People that have veins that are cut and not yet even back healed. Your veins are cut. Veins, I'm not talking about muscles. I'm talking about veins. The blood cannot pass through. Our lives have already, they're not going to, they have already reached a point of maximum torture. Already, it's done. It's done. UNHCR cannot pay this. There's nothing they can do to pay this. The only thing that they can do right now, the only thing they can do is to take us out of this place so that we don't suffer more of this. Pretending they're putting police patrol around is not going to heal our skulls that have been broken. It's not going to give us nights to sleep, because this very police that you're giving us to keep us at night, they are still not liking us. They take shifts, and those on shifts leave because they don't want to stay looking at you dressed weirdly and kissing the same-sex couples and living around you. They don't want to do that. They have that already set in the back of their mind, that how am I going to go back home to my wife and tell them that I was on duty protecting gay people?
And the UNHCR even has reports such as the police actually forcing gay boys to have sex in front of them for entertainment.
In front of the rest of the prisoners around at the police cells in the prisons. They bully them and give them out as a toy. Like, oh, tumawaletea wasichana, we've brought you women to play with. And the same prisoners also have that audacity, because they've been given the permission by the police that this is your punching bag. Do as you please. That's what I'm talking about. We are a minority in a camp, a minority that is already in another minority. Questions. There are not going to be so many people who are going to even care that that's a gay person, that's a transgender, that's a lesbian. No one's going to care. The lesbians have lost all their dignity. You know, when it comes to a point that a mother cannot tell a son or a daughter that go and bring me that cup, because she already feels in her life, in her self-esteem, it's already gone. Do you know what that means? That's not going to heal just because you've taken me out, because just because UNHCR has finally done something like let me give you a bus to take you to Nairobi. Right now, they have already failed to give us movement passes of pretending that they're holding meetings. They have been holding meetings all along. How many years? How many months? How long has they been taking meetings? Pretending that we're having some kinds of dialogue. Meanwhile, you're setting up this dialogue. Meanwhile, you're having this dialogue. We are here dying. And right now, if they are going to have a meeting, and it's not inclusive of Kakuma people who are living through this experience, I do not want to know about these meetings. It's a useless one. It's the usual ones that have been happening all along. If they are going to have a meeting about the lives of people in Kakuma, then let the lives of people in Kakuma be included. Let these people know what they are planning for them. Let these people also plan for what they want, because it's now beyond us coming to seek asylum from UNHCR. It's now beyond that. It's now us seeking asylum to the rest of the world. To everyone now who's watching, we are seeking asylum. I don't know, is it called international asylum? I don't know if that's the term. Global asylum. We are now seeking global asylum. Thank God, because of the Victor Mkasa show, thanks to all the activists that have been coming out, thanks to the newspapers that are coming out. I saw Washington Blade coming on board, Pink News is on board, I've seen the Norwegian government is coming on board, I'm seeing Canada is on board, I heard Sweden is on board. Thank God that people are hearing. Thank God that right now also you somewhere out there, you are hearing. Then hear this. We are seeking global asylum. We need to leave Kenya right now, because they are continuously playing us around. Oh my God, they are continuously playing us around with these meetings of them. And we are living in total darkness. And over that darkness, they have maintained a yearly or annually way of having pretense meetings that they are going on and they are going on. If they are going to have meetings in the future, near future or long future, whatever kinds of time they are going to give themselves to play around with these meetings, involve the people in Kakuma. This is about our lives. This is about my life. This is about his life. This is about her life.
Don't say her.
My life. This is
him life.
I'm sorry.
Him.
I'm sorry, darling.
Don't ever say.
Oh, darling,
Don't,
I'm sorry.
please.
This is about his life. This is about his life. This is about his life. This
And
is about their life.
My life.
Why then should it only have, or should it only involve people who are sleeping in ACs and you know, I love you, Victor.
Expert Kakuma life who have
You
never
know,
been Kakuma.
what are you going to discuss about when you do not even know how I slept? Do you see this? We are not far away. This is bare ground, soil. Do you see that? This mat here, as you see this mat here, this very mat here, that mat there, it's UNHCR written on. Let me show you to you. It's UNHCR. UNHCR gave us that mat as a mattress. Yeah. Show them the mat. Yeah? That is the UNHCR mat. And that mat is a mattress. It's a bed. It's what we are given as a bed.
Why is it outside if it's the bed?
That's where we sleep. This is my bedroom.
Outside.
Welcome world, where I sleep. Welcome world. This is where I sleep.
This is our bed.
This is our home. This is our home. I want to change clothes. I go hide behind the bushes and I change clothes. And they're gonna have meetings about my life, of how long I'm going to stay in such an area, of how they're going to protect me already in such an area when they have failed for countless months. When they failed when I went there in May, when we all went there in May and told them. And oh my God, it didn't even take a year. It didn't even take 2 months after someone killed themselves in their main office in Nairobi.
A refugee committed at the UNHCR office.
An LGBTIQ refugee, a gay man commuted. I don't know if the UNHCR is a humanitarian organization to just continue watching people live through this torture, being exposed, being served up to this kind of murderous acts, to a point where we are not even willing to let these people come and kill us. You are waiting for someone to come and kill you. Why the fuck would you wait when you can do it yourself? Sometimes people say that they blame Ernest for killing himself, but I envy him. He made it easy. He didn't have to go through all this, because none of us deserves to go through all of this. So why the fuck would you wait for people to come with pangas and cut you when you're sleeping outside, barely outside in the open, at such an amount of exposure to anything, to everything? Why the hell wouldn't you just end it yourself? Victor, I don't want to say much because sometimes there are things that I wish not to say. There are things I don't wish to expose out of myself. People come out and tell you that people in Kakuma, you are brave. People in Kakuma, you inspire us. People in Kakuma, your voices mean a lot to us, but you don't know the pain we go through. You don't understand that I'm not speaking out of being brave. I don't speak out to inspire people. I speak out because I am afraid. Because I don't know if I'm going to make it the next day. Because I don't know that people come and kill you for petty things. They came and stole mattresses. Because we don't have houses to put these mattresses in. We put down our mats, put on our mattresses, and people come and beat us up for that. Whip you. Seriously. And I didn't get this mattress from those people. I don't have anything, but they were serving us to a community. You and as an abomination, and you have an opportunity to have a daily meal. You have an opportunity to have a mattress to sleep on. You have an opportunity to just smile. They feel provoked and angered and disturbed, and they just want to kill you for that. And I don't see why UNHCR is sitting back, pretending, continuously behaving like they are having some kinds of meetings when they know that they already failed to protect our lives. Embassies have come out. Anyone there, if you know you're working for any embassy right now, you don't pause my screen. Let me speak. Let me tell the world what's going on. You're getting involved in something that was so beautiful like our lives, and UNHCR buried it inside a trash can and covered it on with more trash. Already, that is what you're dealing with. You're now an embassy that is coming out to help us. You're not going to just help us. You have to rescue us out of that. You're taking us out of that pain, out of that life. You have to blow air back into our lungs for us to breathe. We are already dying, and not because they're attacking us, and not because they're beating us, and not because we're afraid to leave, but because we don't have any will to leave. For what? To wait for another week? To wait for another intervention or another meeting with some people, or to wait for another month for some embassy to come up as they discuss. Okay, now that you have come, Mr. Embassy or Madam Embassy, we have already suffering, so you have to give us this much, or you're going to have to take this many out in this time, or you have to leave the kids for a little while because they're still young, or you have to take the ladies first, have to keep the men first, or you have to, they have to play their politics. But they are not just playing politics, they are juggling with my life, with my next breath.
Yes.
I make sure sometimes I don't come to speak in these things because I know they are watching.
You're fighting.
I know they are watching right now. Every time that they see us talking to the world with these kinds of things, that's why I have to thank you so much, Victor Mkasa. Thank you so much, and to everyone who's watching. When they see this, the so-called humanitarian organization of UNHCR, what's it called? United Nations for High Commission of Refugees. High Commission of Refugees. I don't see how high they are right now. They should be called the lowest commission of refugees because they take away that humanity. They take away the dignity. They take away the hope. They take away the reason of us being called humans. They go that low. And just because we're LGBT, and just because I'm trans,
have to come to the camp.
We right now are demanding, I am demanding for a movement pass out of this.
For everybody.
Someone else should speak. I can't.
Thank you. I hear what they say. Is the Gilbert?
Yes, Victor, it's Gilbert.
Yes, Gilbert. I know that you're not well. There's no reason to ask you how.
You already have the answer.
Hmm.
Victor, you might not be aware of this.
Yes.
But on the 17th of April this year, we sent a petition to Geneva signed by 168 LGBTQ of Kakuma. And we were asking for a safe place. When we made this petition, we were already dying. We were going through hell. So we made our request formal, just in case UNHCR was not aware. And we served it to the highest authority in the institution, to Professor Filippo Grandi. Just like they have dealt with you, we never even got an acknowledgement of receipt.
Yes.
It's a big shame on such an institution. That was shortly after the death of Ernest Mwiro. 10 days later, we ran for our lives to their compound. Just like the way they operate, they prefer silence, they prefer darkness. So they sent us away from their compound with weapons and tear gas in a belief that would be silent. How does a dying man keep silent? Is that possible, Victor?
No, I wouldn't.
How does a dying man keep silent? Even an animal, it will kick and it will groan because of the pain. The issue of refugees that are at risk, that are being hacked, that are being killed, cannot work. It has not worked before. Learn from the chicken that you slaughter at home. It will make noise because nobody can bear that without making noise. Today, I really want to go out to the embassies and the respective countries that have come out, that have had the outcry. It makes a huge difference in the lives of the dying LGBTQ plus persons here. To see a country like Norway come out and say, look, our primary concern is LGBTQ plus persons that are at risk the world over. Now, my call goes out to you people. If you're in Norway and you're reading this, if you're in USA, if you wherever you are, write to your country, write to your embassy. Let them know that your offer has not been taken up. Let them know that your offer is only in writing and is in the press out there. We have nothing here to show that you've made an offer. And gives them the people that are at risk. The people that are dying. Victor, we don't have a contract to die in Kenya. Norway, in Scandinavia, comes out and says, no, this is too much. We need to open up for these people. How come UNHCR hasn't seen that? Or if they have seen it, how come they have not shown they have seen it? Sweden has come out. Wonderful. You know, when we read, and then the silence continues. Why is the silence? Surely UNHCR, by the time these countries come out and says, look, we want the dying LGBTQ plus, everybody has seen that. So why can't they realize that there's nothing to be silent about? And by the way, for your information, this will never work, even with the next generations. You can't kill a human being in broad daylight and you expect them to be silent. We're not going to die silent. Victor, you're a hero. And may God bless you. We pray that you'll continue to have the strength, to continue to have the zeal and the courage to operate in the face of silence. You might be interfered with, but our prayer, our honest prayer, is that you continue to work in the face of all this. This silence will not break us. Until we die, we'll die talking. We'll die swinging. We'll go out with a swing. Please don't ever keep quiet. As you talk to the people out there and urge them to write to UNHCR, let them write to their embassies. Let them write to their countries. Let their embassies have an answer why the LGBTIQ will not be removed from Kakuma where they're dying. Let the answers come to light. Is it some sort of ritual that we must all die here? If it is a ritual, then we know that this is no longer protection. If it is protection, let it be protection. If you are out there and you have any influence, you work in an embassy, take it upon yourself to talk to the UNHCR Kenya and let them give you an answer. Let the word know you tried and you were failed by the body that is supposed to give us protection. But you'll have a clean conscience because you'll have done your part. When UNHCR chased us from their compound on the 30th of this year, for them, that was it. We have silenced them. Victor, we have women that have been raped. Their cases have been we have men that have been raped. You have somebody being given 2 medical reports. There's no evidence that he was raped. Oh, he's dying, he was raped. It's more of a joke. Yes, you might not be aware of this, but our hospitals are filled with just clinical officers. They don't have actual professions here. But even they, as they take up these jobs, they are trained one thing: maintain the silence. Maintain the silence. Make sure that these cases don't go out. And then they write all manner of ridiculous reports. The silence has not worked. Victor, you've come out. May God bless you. And others will come out. There will be more heroes whose conscience cannot rest until justice has been served in Kakuma, until lives have been saved. UNHCR, when you go to the website, they will tell you if there is an emergency, we'll be there, we'll be ready. And they give you all manner of funny, expectations. In hours, we'll be able to have to assemble a team. How long must we cry out? How complicated is a team to get people out of Kakuma? How complicated can it be, frankly?
With the lockdown actually lifted.
Absolutely. And even the lockdown that they were referring to was actually over 2 cities. That was Nairobi and Mombasa. Which was a lousy excuse to begin with anyway. Because Nairobi is not the only place that you can take dying people. There have been other people who have been evacuated from here and taken straight into the Philippines or somewhere else. This has happened before. I think it is the lack of willingness to act that has been the problem. It's never been about resources, never been about Corona.
Not about COVID. People are dying. How do you say that you don't save people from pandemics, but we are saving, I don't understand. It was already a health issue. I think that we've lost connection there. You must understand that these people are talking to us from Kakuma camp in northern Kenya. Some of you have been asking Eddie Messiah. I welcome you here, and you've been asking what's happening. These people speaking are LGBTQ refugees that are located in Kakuma camp, one of the largest in the world, and they have been under attack constantly from other refugees. They have been cut and beaten and hit with stones, their houses burnt, their property stolen because of homophobia and transphobia. And we are on the verge of losing lives there. We can tell you that their lives are going away slowly. We have people with, broken limbs, cracked skulls, reproductive system messed up because of rape as punishments for being LGBT. It is a lot, and this campaign is about calling the UNHCR to remove them from that camp, which is clearly a very homophobic camp, clearly camp that has not been prepared to have LGBTQ people. Clearly over the years, nothing has been done, because if it was done, things would be changing. But homophobia is real in Africa, and so it is the same case in a refugee camp where we actually have multiple African nationalities. These people are already running away from their countries, especially Uganda, Burundi, Sudan, Ethiopia, because of homophobia. And the UNHCR has placed them in a place where they are attacked almost every week. Now, you've heard from these people. They are saying the UNHCR is silent, and that silence of the UNHCR is equaling to death. And indeed, they are dying, because if you look at the clinical reports, if you look at the doctor's reports, if you look at the therapist's reports, these people are fading away slowly. Some of the damage caused on their bodies and minds will not be reversed. The silence of the UNHCR is equal to death, like they say. Now, they're calling upon you all to continue pushing the UNHCR, communicating with the UNHCR about their immediate removal from Kakuma camp. They are calling upon you to reach out to embassies of those safe countries. Let them know that nothing is being done about their commitments to take LGBT refugees as special cases. Let them know about the situation of refugees. Maybe somebody else takes this seriously. That human beings are under attack, that human beings are being slashed like vegetables, that human beings are being hit with whatever you can have on their heads, that they're being raped. Let them know. Let the embassies know. Human rights organizations, you're being asked to be on the right side of history, to not remain silent, to speak up. And that's my call too, to human rights organizations. This is a crisis in Kakuma camp. Humanity is under attack in Kakuma camp. LGBTQ lives are under attack in Kakuma camp by fellow people who came to seek protection. Those who came to seek protection are attacking others who came to seek protection from their horrible governments. It is a reality. Those who are telling the UNHCR that these people are just fabricating these things, you are pathetic. That is my word. You are pathetic. For the UNHCR, you have all the reports. You have the testimonies. You have reports from professionals about what this has caused in Kakuma. You have people testifying about the attacks. They are ready to be investigated. And yet up to now, there has not been a UNHCR official talking to refugees in Kakuma camp. Up to now, we have not had you go to the camp if you're not believing us. Corona has been used as an excuse. But yes, the world is changing to social media and internet. On internet, you can reach people. You can investigate. Supposing Corona doesn't go away for 3 years, people have to die in the camps. UNHCR across the world, it's not just the one in Kenya and in Geneva, that is silent when people are facing death. Activists are telling us they have reached out to the UNHCR office in Washington, D.C. and there has not been any response. It is true, friends. There's not all the letters that you have written to the UNHCR. There's no acknowledgement of receipt. But so for some of you, you know that some emails show that an email has been received. The UNHCR, we are seeing you as disrespecting humanity and the right to life by being silent about something that is obviously happening. And they're calling upon you for engagement. And they're saying when you decide to engage on the safety, protection, and lives of people in Kakuma camp on Block 13, let them be a part of it. Let the refugees be a part of it, not people who just, report about. That's why you're receiving reports of people raping themselves. Because if they are saying that this is fabricated, are people raping themselves? There is proof that people have been raped. Skulls have been broken. Legs have been broken. We have them walking on sticks. They went there walking, family, strong men and women. Now they are using sticks and crutches. Is that the protection? Isn't that reason enough to take them out of that camp? If now they are losing parts of their bodies, parts of their sanity? Isn't that reason enough for the UNHCR to intervene, for the UNHCR to speak, to say something, to reach out, to respond to the world? We have a right to ask the UNHCR for answers. The UNHCR is mandated to protect refugees. The excuse of the Kenyan government cannot be the first government. They cannot be the biggest excuse of Kenya does not accept homosexuals. But Kenya has a relationship with the UNHCR. That is why we have 2 camps, huge camps, 2 of the hugest camps in the world, Dadaab and Kakuma. The UNHCR will only set up a refugee camp where they have reached an understanding with the government. The UNHCR, you have the mandate. If the government of Kenya has told you to let refugees in Kenya die, say it. Make it public. Let us know, because their lives at stake. We have respected you over the years. You have disrespected us with silence, with ignoring every communication to you. And you have disrespected human lives on Block 13 in Kakuma camp. And that is not a good side in history to be. You still have a chance to be on the right side. Should people die in Kakuma? It is on you. And truth be told, the blood that has been shed in the last month, we shall never forget. And June 19th will never be forgotten. June 19th will never be forgotten and will be remembered as the day that the silence of the UNHCR was confirmed. The failure to protect was confirmed that day because the refugees had already started crying out for protection. In April, they went to the UNHCR to complain and ask for protection. What did they get from there? Tear gas. Right now, one of the patients, one of the more than about 70 people that are attending hospital in the private hospital in Kakuma, is facing damage from the tear gas that was sprayed on them at the UNHCR offices in Kakuma by the UNHCR, or with the directive of the UNHCR. Take them out, throw them out. Psst, in the eyes of children. There are videos showing this. There's footage showing this. And we say, UNHCR, come up and do something. It's you who has the resources. Yes, Purity, my sister.
How are you? I know everybody is like emotional, and thank you for inviting me. I hate mediocrity and hypocrisy, because if you have a friend, did you just see Doreen? She's getting suicidal. Sorry, it is snow is disturbing me. Tula. I hate hypocrisy. You know, sometimes people joke with other people's lives, and then they make you feel like, you know, you are at our mercies. Then, now that people are committing suicide, have you seen what Doreen just said?
Yeah.
She spoke with too much anger of somebody who is at the verge of committing suicide. I mean, sometimes I look at things and then I see people and, you know, keeping quiet about so many things. And I'm like, okay, were they created in the skies or somewhere else? You know, people sit in their offices, and I'm not only talking about UNHCR, I mean about you and somebody else out there that sits in your office and you enjoy the SC, you enjoy the benefits, and you watch us, and you watch a person like Doreen dying in a camp that is supposed to be protecting her, and you still go to bed and actually have a good night's sleep. Now, why I talk about hypocrisy, I have been told to keep quiet. Purity, keep quiet, keep a low profile. How would somebody like me keep quiet when my best friend is actually dying? Do people have friends? I mean, like, I sometimes ask myself, do people have friends? Doreen is my best friend. So if I am not pretending, how would I even have a meal or have a good night's sleep, knowing that my sister is literally at the verge of committing suicide, and then still told to keep a low profile? I mean, hypocrisy, and more hypocrisy is what is actually hurting the world these days. And there is a lot of hypocrisy. I can talk about UNHCR. I know they, you know, they are taking their time to even have just a dialogue, even send somebody on the ground. But I can imagine if they would be proud of themselves when Doreen committed suicide. I'm giving her as an example. I would imagine, and this is not propaganda. For me, I'm a Muchiga from Uganda. For us, we say it the way it is. When I say this is my friend, that is my friend. People find me very diversional. People find me very different. Why? Because when I say this is my friend, that is my friend. So how do you expect me to keep quiet when my best friend is at the verge of committing suicide? Did you just see that? I mean, like, I do not have a family anymore. I lost my father the other time. I mean, like, I do not have a biological family. So when I say my friend, I mean it. The silence people talk about and keeping a low profile doesn't empower anybody. If I wanted to keep silent, then I would be in Uganda, because I get even mocked by my friends, my former friends in Uganda, and everybody. And, you know, they make very many bad insinuations about me, and sometimes they ask themselves, why is purity there? But then, why would I die in silence for just being human?
Like Gilbert said.
Exactly. There is that kind of anger. And then I hate hypocrisy from activists. I know people are going to insinuate this situation, use it to their advantage to make more money and go back to their offices and sit down and enjoy their coffee in their strawberry flavored AC offices. But then your hypocrisy one day will be exposed to the world. We, we don't need special rights. By the time a refugee leaves their country, that means they have rendered away so much of their rights. They need protection. Otherwise, they would have kept there. And when they become refugees, you lose almost everything. I should say everything. Does somebody know how it feels for somebody, a refugee, to even be attacked by a fellow refugee, and somebody feels like, I can't do much? You know, you are insinuating. Is there anybody? I would love to ask the world, because I mean, I haven't even had my lunch and it's actually past midnight. But I want to ask somebody out there, everybody, by the way, is there anybody who literally wakes up early in the morning and chooses suffering as a way of living? Because sometimes people look at us and they look at comedy and they feel like, I think probably maybe these are comedians. We are human beings that literally just deserve to be alive. There is no human being in the entire world who can just keep quiet when they are dying. Somebody can't cut off your ear and then you tell that person, please still keep a low profile. Why? Because you have never been that attacked, or you have never had that kind of injury. And what annoys me, because I didn't want to get so angry, is that there are some officials at UNHCR that feels like people just do comedy. So what are you protecting? Comedians? Comedians who are losing their lives. Comedians. And then there are some people who insinuate way so much. But I would love to ask them, and this is the question I'm asking everybody. Do people feel like it is just fair for somebody to choose suffering as a way of living? Lose your everything. People sit in their office, and then sometimes I get angry at LGBTQ activists, some who manipulate situations, because I mean, they are not the ones being attacked. If my sister Doreen died, I do not know what else I would be left with. I don't know. And then somebody tells you that you should keep quiet. Keep quiet. Do people still have friends? I think there is nobody who would love their friend to be going through what exactly you just saw with Doreen. I don't think so. And if they are there, then there is some insanity inside their head. They also need to go to a hospital and get checked. Please, people sometimes think that refugees are maybe a piece of garbage supposed to be thrown in the toilet or in the dustbin. Because how could you keep quiet about somebody like Doreen that you just saw, when literally you already have a culprit just minutes ago? I say minutes ago because a month or so ago, a refugee actually committed suicide. Still, there was propaganda. There was propaganda. This one is dramatic. And so a dead person is also dramatic. A dead person. A dead person. Do you feel so very glad that you are doing a great job when people are dying at just committing suicide just outside your offices? And then when you prepare and plan for meetings, it takes you centuries. Then what are you mandated to do? Because I've been reading about the mandate of UNHCR and agencies meant to protect refugees, and also the right of a refugee. You rather not accept them if you are the one going to torment them more. Because it's not only them being tormented, it's so many others, including yourself. Exactly. And so you cannot say it's just one person. People are losing. I mean, isn't there evidence enough that somebody just lost their life just outside somebody's office? And still people choose to say, keep a low profile. There is power in the voice. Let me tell you, if I did not only use my voice, because that's all I'm left with, and my pink jacket. By the way, this is my power. My pink jacket, I love it because that is my power and my voice. If purity chose to keep quiet, I would be dead by now. So many people know that. I would be so much dead because it's only the power in my voice that I use to protect me. Because even somebody who is on a drip and almost dying, they still fight to be alive. There is no way somebody can just wake up early in the morning and commit suicide. There must be so much happening in their brains. Every human being wants to be alive, and that's why they still scream out even when they are dying, because they don't want to die. And so I would love to say this because I'm not only angry, but I'm actually scared, because Doreen just showed me that literally there is a lot of mental illness happening in Kakuma, because I also have it and I know what it looks like.
And Doreen made some very, maybe it would be helpful if you amplify to the UNHCR embassies. You please amplify Doreen's call. So that's for her right now.
So for UNHCR, arranging meetings that takes literally days and months, and because you have other meetings, it doesn't help when somebody's dead. Those meetings won't happen when people are actually dead. You are not too busy. This is your job. You are actually supposed to be taking care of refugees. So you are not busy, because your business are refugees. They are dying. Take care of them. Evacuate them and make sure that you protect them. Or else tell us that, you know what, we no longer have a mandate to protect refugees. So don't fix meetings, don't have those annual meetings or whatever it is and sit in your living areas and wait to make, people use like insinuating things and, we are busy, there is this, there is that, as if like you do not know that actually your mandate is to protect refugees. So if fellow refugees are actually killing fellow refugees in your faces, fellow refugees attacking fellow refugees in a camp that you told them that's why you have to go and to get protected, and that's why they're still being attacked from, then what exactly are, what meetings are you planning? What are you protecting? I mean, fellow refugees are attacking fellow refugees. It's just your mandate. Or else you wouldn't, and I keep repeating this, and I would love to tell everybody that works with UNHCR, if you feel we're too homophobic and transphobic and you feel like it's a lot of work to work with us, never accept refugees like us. Let people die in their countries than dying in diaspora in a camp, just way too far from civilization, where
Yeah.
even accessing internet is hard, where people are sleeping on your mats in the bush, and that is their bedroom. That's where they even change their clothes from. Now, for the embassies, I know that some of you do not sometimes understand that there is a sheer need, immediate need for refugees to be evacuated, LGBTQ refugees. And I know sometimes you are frustrated by UNHCR's bureaucracy of not rescuing people in time. Now is the time to also go out there and ask them what exactly is happening on the ground. I would love somebody, because embassies are coming up, and I'm so happy about that. After seeing all this that is happening, we see so many emails coming in, we see so many people, you know, embassy officials really being concerned, but they're going to be frustrated because there is bureaucracy about.
Gilbert was all of us to write embassies to tell them what is happening. That we also be going.
Sorry, my voice is not really good with my phone. What do you say?
Gilbert, the actor, was also calling on all of us to write. And is there any that? But what and beyond thanking them to the refugees?
Yeah, thank you very much. I call upon everybody, and even those that have come up. By the way, I'm so proud that some people are coming up and they are angry like we are, because I mean we are angry. Let's write and write more. Our voices are very important. And for the embassies, just understand that we do not have time to just go in your inboxes and write for a call to come and rescue LGBTQ refugees in Kakuma camp. We are sparing our painful time with anger and frustration to write to you. Respond, but as you respond, think about the word bureaucracy. If you are a humanitarian agency and you are an embassy, working with an embassy, I want you to think about bureaucracy not being an issue to let people die, but just because you need to have answers.
These are human lives.
Encourage somebody from UNHCR, not the ones that are doing propaganda, to go on the ground and show you that literally people are not being attacked if they feel like they are not being attacked. Let me see somebody live from Kakuma, from UNHCR, saying that literally people are not being attacked. And for the embassies, you will not protect dead people. Protect the live ones, the wounded, the ones that are yet to do with so much pain and hurt themselves. Just save them. Don't think about bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is not a human being. Bureaucracy is a word, and it can be changed. And it will be in history, like you said, because history repeats itself, that we shall know who protected and who didn't protect LGBTQ refugees in Kakuma camp. just understand that we are watching just like that, scared and all that. But if at all genocide happens in Kakuma, if at all genocide happens in Kakuma, you will be judged beyond judgment, because genocide is yet to happen, and it is actually in my head, it is already happening, because there is no way somebody can be so much wounded and they have been brave for a long time and they still choose to die, they still choose to commit suicide. If you see Doreen, you see the Gilberts and everybody, they are at the verge of losing everything because they have been strong for forever. Your offices that you sit in, whoever sits in an office that is very influential, that office one day will haunt you. It will haunt you because I know deep inside your heart, you're not doing your best for that office that you're working in. So don't feel so proud about it, because one day that office will haunt you when people just die, when literally you have all the power, authority, the funds, and everything to protect people. And then you leave your responsibilities to people like Victor to take people to the hospital. Then what, to feed people. Then what exactly are you doing in your office? Like, what makes you proud when you go to bed or when you wake up? What gives you motivation to wake up and go to work? And now I'm talking to you, UNHCR. What gives you motivation to wake up and go to work? Isn't it refugees? Who pays your bills? Refugees. Why? That's why you get funding for it, so that you can protect people. So don't feel like this is your office. You have the power and authority. We don't have it. But we shall haunt you, though. We shall haunt you. Our dead bodies are very, by the way, dead bodies, spirits are very powerful. I don't want to sound like so different because I'm getting angry, I need to go. But spirits haunt. Because for me as purity, if I died and I was like in a situation Doreen is going through right now, I would die telling myself, please, my spirit, may you haunt these people to never rest, when they didn't even protect me when I'm still alive. And thank you very much.
Thank you as usual. I thank you for doing. Thank you. And I am lucky guy that I, because you guide me a lot. Things that I, because of purity, I thought about what now with the cup. Let me know what was happening. Nature, I wouldn't watch. Thank you so much, purity.
Thank you. I love you.
My darling. And I thank everybody who has been a part of this, with whom we are working. Everybody, as I said, the therapists, the first responders, all those who are helping with funding. Please, those who are here, I request you to share that link that I have pinned. It is the GoFundMe page, strictly for LGBT refugees on Block 13 in Kakuma camp. It is the money that I am raising to help with whatever we are doing there already, with the hospital bills and with food and other necessities. Again, if you don't have to. Those who are willing to help out, please donate. Please write to embassies, the Scandinavian embassies, U.S. embassies, all the North American embassies, those that take in people for safety. Please write to them and tell them about this situation, and let them know that their voice in getting people out of Kenya in general, LGBT refugees, they're not seeking special rights, but they're a special group, because this group is under attack by fellow refugees in Kakuma camp. This group is in a country which is homophobic already. There are groups there in the camps and in Nairobi and urban areas who are running away from war. But they're coming in a country where there's no war. These ones are running away from homophobia and coming into more homophobia. They can only be taken to where there's no homophobia, because it's the reason they have run out of homophobia, countries that have homophobia. These ones are running away from homophobic countries and situations and communities and systems into a camp that is full of homophobia, that is full of transphobia. So they are a special piece that needs some kind of protection, that is not just protection from governments, but protection from fellow refugees, from fellow refugees that you have dumped them with. Please, the UNHCR, we ask you to act immediately. And friends out there, I'm asking you to continue writing these emails. They're receiving them. It's just that they've disrespected all of us and have said nothing about what we have asked them to do. Please write to the embassies, write to international and regional human rights organizations and ask them to intervene and raise their voice on behalf of the refugees, or even investigate what is happening. Some of those organizations, international and regional, have received the reports already. I think for most of them, their work is to confirm those reports. And it is possible and easy to confirm them if we view this as a crisis like it is, and if we view the lives in Kakuma as human lives that need immediate saving. So I thank you, all of you. I thank you, all of you who have been with us, members of the press that are beginning to pick up on this. We thank you so much for giving us a platform to speak. Therapists, doctors that are on the first responders team, we thank you so much. And if anybody out there can offer free counseling, please reach out to me through my inbox. I'll be happy to work with you in reaching the people in Kakuma who are very, very accessible. And if any human rights organization wants to reach the folks in Kakuma, we can easily share and very willingly share the information of contacts to who to contact in Kakuma camp. They're all willing to speak out. If anybody is happy to contribute financially to the needs on Block 13 in Kakuma camp, the GoFundMe page is tagged on this live. Is pinned on this live, and it's also on my Facebook page and on the Victor Mukasa Show page, as well as the Victor J. Mukasa page. The Victor Mukasa Show has all the updates, and we are on Facebook. And soon we will have also a program on the podcast of the Victor Mukasa Show for those who can only deal with voice, with audio. So I thank all of you, and thank you, Bryans, for the music that you have made, the activist music that you have made, that we are using on these shows. Thank you for not putting copyright on them. Friends in Kakuma camp, I know it is midnight, half midnight. I wish you a safe night, because I know that you're all out there. Oh, and the nurses. Thank you so much, Bashir Sechan. The nurses in the camp. The nurses in the camp are actually LGBTQ refugees themselves. So we have a team of nurses in the camp that are working with the first responders, that are doing a great job. And also the leadership at the camp, Bashir, Benon, Doreen, Gilbert, and others. I thank you so much for what you're doing to coordinate these efforts. Brian Nkoyoyo, thank you so much for this music. So friends out there, good night, good evening, good morning, good day. Let us keep fighting. Thank you. We'll be be so happy if some of you just donated, even if it's just $5 to the GoFundMe page. And please share it with your networks. We need this money. We need these resources. For as we wait for the silent UNHCR, we still need to take people to the hospital. They are going to a private hospital where they are treated with dignity, where they are taken seriously, where they are handled as human beings, despite their sexual orientation or perceived sexual orientation and gender identity. We have had about between 65 and 70 of them have their first visit, have their stitches put in, x-rays and everything, but we are having a second round of reviews where people need to go back to see the doctor about how they are progressing with the treatment. Every time they see the doctor, we pay some money. So even if, like, some people have given $100, $50, $25, $20, but even if you have only $5 to spare, I call upon you to go to the GoFundMe page and deposit it there. We have a very transparent process, me together with the team in Kakuma, and we are very accountable for every coin that they spend in the camp. We ask you to trust us. I ask you to trust me to help the people at the camp. We need to buy blankets for these children. Some of them are sleeping outside where you saw. There are so many, according to doctors' reports, there are many of them with pneumonia because they're sleeping outside. They're sleeping outside in the cold. Right now, the rains have come. And when the rains come now, both the boys and the men and the girls and the children have to enter into small spaces and just pile up there. We need help. They need our help. And this we can do. To give them movement passes that we are asking the UNHCR to do, we cannot do. So let us do what we can, is that donating to the cause via the GoFundMe page right there that I have pinned. The other thing we can do is write to the UNHCR to still highlight the plight of the people on Block 13 in Kakuma camp and ask them to help with their immediate evacuation out of that dangerous situation. Our friends in Kakuma camp have asked us to write to the embassies also. And I'll be drafting some, example letter on my Facebook page for the kind of message we can send to the embassies. I thank you all. And adios.